What is going on, everybody? My name is Kinchi, and I'm joined here by Ashravok, and we are going to be your casters for tonight's matchup between NOLA Flight and Empyreal. First things to start off here, Ashravok, how are you doing?
I'm honestly doing great. I mean, I totally just didn't wake up about an hour ago because, I've been up since 2 in the morning. I mean, hey, pulling all-nighters in college, don't do what I do and stay up trying to, churn out 3 different quizzes that were due 3 weeks ago. Not fun, but overall, I'm doing great, especially on game day.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely have to agree with you, Ashravok. But, I mean, we got a big matchup ahead of us, man. NOLA Flight and Empyreal. I mean, these are honestly the 2 top teams here in the AWL. And, honestly, I'm expecting a beast of a matchup here. I mean, both of these teams very renowned, have very renowned players in the challenger scene in them. And, honestly, man, just kind of looking at the rosters we're seeing, it definitely looks to be a very competitive matchup, and I just honestly cannot wait.
Yeah, absolutely. Both of these teams are almost tied up for first place, so whoever wins this match tonight is essentially going into first. It really depends, and starting off with NOLA Flight. A few key things to remember here. NOLA Flight is second in the standings, and they are trying to go for first place tonight by being able to beat Empyreal, which is definitely going to be in the challenge. And they've only dropped a couple maps to Element, meaning that NOLA Flight, they've played some of our top-ranked teams here in Amateur World League, and they are absolutely our favorites. I mean, that is 100% for sure. I know they're my favorite. If you look at the jerseys on their site, they're absolute fire. Color scheme overall, not too bad.
Of course, we got to look at Empyreal comma coming fresh off of second place on a LAN. They are currently first on the standings. They are the top dog in this league and have absolutely been so far dominating, not have even lost a single map. And they have 3 wins against bottom 4 teams. So maybe that's kind of a question there, man. I mean, they haven't really gone up against the top talent here in the AWL. So who knows really if they could really compete against, this significantly better team, man. So Empyreal got to really prove if they really are the top dogs here. Obviously they went up against teams that are really not that good, and now they're gonna have to go up against someone that's honestly an absolute beast.
That is very true. When it comes to Conwa, one of our best players right now in AWL, I mean, on average, definitely has the same level of skill set as other players here, such as Kex and a few other people throughout AWL, and has proven to be an absolute menace. I mean, coming in second on a LAN event, not too bad, but still, second place is better than no place. And for Conwa, I have a feeling he is definitely going to be more of a villain here to NOLA Flight on these maps coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm expecting a lot of big plays coming in from Conwa, especially once we head into that search and destroy and we see him pull out that sniper. Absolutely that he is going to be frying. But anyways, here are the maps and modes that we are going to be seeing here in this series. Starting off with an Embassy Hardpoint, expecting a lot of great AR presence overall. I mean, again, these are 2 top teams, so I'm expecting it to be a pretty close matchup. Just overall, I'm expecting this to be a very chaotic map. And then we're heading over to Asilo, a very big map overall. Got 2 very large lanes covering both sides, and then you just got pretty much a cluster in the middle that is that A side bomb. And honestly, man, it is definitely I'm expecting a lot of great plays here in the search and destroy, and then we're heading back to Asilo for that control. Again, another map that I'm actually seeing a lot of people play. Usually most people would choose a hotel as their control map, but it does seem like now people are beginning to favor Asilo a lot more, which is very nice to see. But again, same points that I said about the search and destroy. A very large map overall. Got to really make sure that you're taking over and making sure that you have that map presence.
That is very true. I mean, what worries me a little bit about our first map being Embassy, right? It's a bit of an open map. However, there are a few key things to look out for. Not only do you have shorter sight lines here and there, but multiple flank routes, as well as buildings that make it a little hard for players to be able to navigate and safely traverse into. The one thing about NOLA Flight, that is exactly what they find in their favor when it comes to maps like Embassy. And that, I have a feeling, I mean, with Empyreal having only played bottom teams, this might be their down point and a little bit of a weak spot for them. As with NOLA Flight, I mean, this map might prove to be a decider even into our first game overall.
Yeah, again, you got to start off hot here for both teams, and it's got to be, it's got to be a big opening performance overall, man. This is, obviously both teams, undefeated overall in the standings. NOLA Flight only really second place because, they just lost a few maps to Fort Worth Element, which, they're another very good team. So obviously, that kind of didn't really help them out. But Empyreal, you know, they have again been pretty much flawless. They have not dropped the map whatsoever and have not dropped a series whatsoever. And so now we got to see. But like I said, they went up against bottom 4 teams, which means that the competition wasn't really there for them. I mean, we know Empyreal; these guys are definitely top players. So you know, now that they're going up against NOLA Flight, the question does come: is are they going to be able to compete under the pressure that is NOLA Flight? You know, I mean, these guys are a top 32 challengers team, and you know, it's safe to say that they're nowhere near as I guess you could say as bad as the bottom 4 teams right now. So again, it's going to be a very interesting challenge for Empyreal, and honestly, man, it's going to just generally be an interesting watch overall.
I mean, that is very true. I feel as if when it comes to this match, I feel like best describing NOLA Flight versus Empyreal. I mean, put Empyreal in the shoes of maybe some fresh COD players. I mean, at the precipice of being able to hit COD League. And then you have NOLA Flight, who is almost top echelon, same level, say, as Rocker or even Atlanta FaZe when it comes to COD League. And it might be a fairly imbalanced match that we are going to be seeing tonight. And that's what has me a little worried, right? We keep saying this over and over again, that Empyreal has gone against bottom 4 teams, but I feel as if that's what really matters to look into here, because now that they're going against a top tier team to try and get in the first place, NOLA Flight is going to be doing everything in their power to be able to deny that. I mean, they're thirsting for this as well, so it's going to be an issue. I mean, Empyreal, they have Conwa, they have some cards stacked in their favor, but when it comes to NOLA Flight in terms of maps, in terms of picks, that's also stacked in their favor. So this could go both ways, or it can go one way in favor of one.
I 100% agree with you there. But anyways, you know, yeah, we do have a competitive match, but let's take a look at the open qualifier promo video that we have here and just kind of take a look at what we're going to be seeing.
He's going to pick up one.
We'll see. But if you're Savage, because of that, you get pushed out. You sacrifice that ace side.
Blacksmith Kex proving why he is the one with a triple kill.
All right, that was a very interesting a couple of videos there, but man, you know, again, we're just got back to the series. You know, we're still waiting for players to come back, head in, set up in the lobby, and you know, hopefully we get this map one underway. But you know, speaking of maps, let's head back in. You know, I wasn't able to really get through all the maps, so obviously once we head over to map 4, Hydro Hardpoint. If we get there, Hydro, a map that you really rarely ever see in any series. I think not a lot of people are fans of this map, so it being in the map pool is very interesting to say the least. So I generally, you know, hopefully we get to see that being played through, see what these teams have to offer. And then obviously map 5, we're going to be seeing that Fortress Search and Destroy. Very close gunfights, very fast-paced rounds overall, and I think that's just going to come down to who's able to outpace who in that map 5.
I mean, that's very true, but if it's one thing you notice here, Kimchi, it's that Breenberg Hotel is nowhere on these maps and modes. I mean, yes. Which is a first for me in casting, like, in these past couple of weeks, is that we usually see a lot of hotel after hotel following either Embassy or El Asilo, but in this case, it's just nowhere to be found. Instead, like, placed in its favor are Hydro and Fortress. And another interesting thing, too, rather than Fortress being a map that these teams wanted to head first into, it's placed all the way last meaning that if we do head into a deadlock match point situation, they would be playing it on S&D, and that would be our decider. However, with maps like Embassy and El Asilo being our first up, that should make for a pretty interesting match tonight. I mean, it's not what we usually see, and you can see the vetoes that people definitely did not want to play Mercado Las Almas and Hotel. So honestly, this is a first for me.
Yeah, it's pretty shocking to see Hotel not be on the map pool anymore, but here we go, man. We're going to be starting off here with this Embassy map 1. Like I said, like we had talked about, this is a, this has got to be a fiery start between, for both teams here. Otherwise, you're going to be, left in the dust. Again, both teams very, very up in the standings right now. You literally got, the first place and second place team going up against each other. So we really got to see who's going to be able to do so, man. Empyreal, obviously, have not lost a map, have not lost a series. They're looking to keep that going. They're looking to keep on looking undefeated, but they're going to have to deal with a very tough challenger, that being NOLA Flight.
Absolutely, and one thing to remember, we're not even in the finals, and this is absolutely going to be exciting. I mean, if anything, this is one of our very rare matches where it's almost Super Bowl level of absolute, possible catastrophe for one team, but absolute victory for the other. And in terms for both teams, this is like second place going against second place, NFC versus AFC, if you will, and we are going to get a match, an absolute panopticon of pain, suffering, but possible fun and carnage for either of them. You never know.
You never know, indeed, man. I mean, Call of Duty in general, a very unpredictable esport. You always think that one team is going to take it all, but then next thing you know, they end up getting smoked. So I don't know who's going to be able to take it here, but we'll have to see. Empyreal, they're starting off in the good spawns, getting on that time. Conwa is going to be the one to try and see if he can catch anyone lacking. He is going to be able to find Skater there. So far, looking good for Empyreal. They're getting some great starting time here. P1, not really much of a hill to grab a lot of time. It's more so just a contest hill. You grab some time and mainly focus on just making sure you have those P2 spawns and, that P2 setup going. But it does seem like Empyreal, they're getting their nades, they're making sure they're getting the kills, but again, it is just they're going to be focusing heavily on making sure that P2 is secured.
Yeah, absolutely. NOLA Flight here managing to take away this hard point from Empyreal. I mean, Empyreal and NOLA Flight are in a bit of a deadlock situation once again where nobody has this point. Correction! It went straight to Empyreal. They do manage to get these points, but at the same time, Skater up here does manage to get the pick, and that will be more kills going over in favor of NOLA Flight, but at the same time, Empyreal is absolutely running away from this, I should say. Sorry, my caster brain is getting a little mixed up here in terms of points, but NOLA Flight does manage to put themselves back on, and that kill feed, as you can tell, it's lighting up purple and orange, but more purple in favor of NOLA Flight right now, looking hot and absolutely ready to clean things up.
So far, looking good for NOLA Flight. Here you do see Shoxy 6-1. He is starting off very nice, and he's looking to be a very tough player to beat here for the side of Empyreal, as they're going to be able to hold down this P2 side fairly well. And but it does seem like Empyreal, they do have that P3 rotation. It's going to be pretty big there. They may not be able to grab a lot of time here on P2, but it's going to be very big here if they're able to hold down P3 for as long as they can. But you see Nick K, he's trying to see if he can catch anyone in the back. You do see that one player there from NOLA Flight trying to stay alive. It's going to be Skater. Could definitely be a humongous nuisance here as long as he stays alive. Could definitely do a lot of work. He's going to be able to find Nick Hate just like that. Kill him off. That's a pretty big kill right there. And now it's going to be all left up to Jamal to try and hold down this P3. He's the last man standing for Empyreal to try and make sure that they get this P3 done. He finds one. Can he get the second? Trying to find him. Not trying to get the nade down. Going to be able to get it done. Not going to be able to find the third, however. Gets traded out. Prof makes his way onto the point.
I mean, you can tell right now NOLA Flight is doing everything in their power to target two players in particular. I mean, two with the highest KDs right now. It's Choco and it's Conwa, because NOLA Flight knows that even Conwa could be the biggest threat to them being able to win this, and Empyreal do manage to catch up here on the hard point with a couple points, putting themselves at 40, but at the same time, NOLA Flight are looking to charge in here, especially coming in the double kill from Shoxy, and that should be another one, a grenade kill going out in favor of NOLA Flight as well. And Aiden already with a 9-7 and Shoxy with a 9-3 KD, making this a heavily contested hardpoint, but with only 6 seconds left, I mean, what's the point of holding it? I mean, for NOLA Flight, they could always move on to the next one, but at this point, they are absolutely thirsting for kills, and with the new one coming up, they're going to try and deny everything from Empyreal right now, coming in with another kill. That's a wall bang going out, and this is getting spicy. 48 seconds left on the clock for Empyreal to try and get in here, but it's looking fruitless, and it's looking more and more hopeful every second for NOLA Flight.
And man, NOLA Flight, they have an incredibly strong setup here on this P3, not allowing Empyreal to get any sort of contest going on whatsoever. Maybe that's going to change here as they try to push through the stairwell, but Prof, this man is on fire, looking to find that cruise missile. I don't know what the hell that Chow was going to be, going to get killed off just like that. Prof finds a cruise missile in his back pocket, and it just seems like NOLA Flight, they practically get the full 60 here. Imperial in a bit of a pickle right now as they're just absolutely getting slayed out. Aiden with a nice kill onto whoever that was, and he's gonna be able to keep it going. Gonna get killed off by Nick Haight. NOLA Flight with a very big lead here, almost about to put Empyreal in the 100-point club. Unless Empyreal responds here on this P4, definitely gonna be a huge hill to try and regain here, man. But so far, paying attention to the KDs, Chaco 5 and 11. And Nick Haight 6 and 11. They are not doing so well, man. They gotta try and step things up if they want to help their team get a little bit of a at least destroy the lead that NOLA Flight has here, man. But it's definitely got to be stepping up in the slaying department for them. And overall, just I think for the entire team, because everyone on the side of NOLA Imperial is negative. Well, besides Jamal right now.
I mean, absolutely. Imperial do manage to catch up in terms of points, but they're going to have to do a lot more if they want to make the 100-point club. I mean, less than 15 seconds left. I don't know if that's going to be a possibility as NOLA Flight, they have everything covered, whether it be stairs, whether it be stairwells, whether it be hallways, and they're just giving Imperial an absolute nightmare for their lives right now, even denying the kill streaks. You can tell Jamal, unfortunately, will lose that, and despite a clean KD of 11-10 right now, no cruise missiles to come out into play just yet, as NOLA Flight once again will be retaking Hardpoint Courtyard. That's a double going out to Jamal and Nick Haight before both are going to be ended immediately by NOLA Flight. But coming in on the back lines, I mean, Imperial with this absolute flank route, absolutely beautiful in favor of them, and they do manage to retake, but at what cost, as Shoxy is going to deny as many chances as possible here.
The map control on the side of NOLA Flight is just unbreakable. They're just able to basically get such a large portion of the map locked down and not allow Imperial to get anything done whatsoever. And you're just seeing that right now, man. Shoxy able to find a nice kill on mid, but gets traded out by Chaco. Prof trying to pick up the trade. Chaco does not allow that. Gonna find the kill instead. And so far, man, Imperial, they're trying to fight their way back into this second set of rotations. They were able to find a lot of great overall points on the P1, but now we're heading towards P2, and so far it looks like it's gonna be in the side of Imperial, but we gotta find the kills. Not gonna be able to happen. That's gonna be 3 down for the side of Imperial. Conwa, the last one remaining here on this team. Everyone's still respawning. He's gonna get killed off. NOLA Flight with a very quick break on the hill, and they're just absolutely dominating right now. AR presence on the side of NOLA Flight is completely out of this world, and Prof still has that cruise missile in his back pocket. It's just, again, not looking good for Imperial.
Man, absolutely. Right now, NOLA Flight, they're giving Imperial, especially Conwa, an absolute run for their money right now. No matter what they do, no matter where they try to go, it's like NOLA Flight is right behind them, ready to murk them. I mean, as you can tell, the kill feed is lighting up. Purple Prof managing to get that double kill before Nick Haight does manage to take out one person coming in from NOLA Flight. Shoxy and Aiden do go out momentarily, as well as Prof. The hard point is looking empty, and despite the fact that Imperial could be able to get on here, never mind, Skater on a killing spree. A 5 and NOLA Flight looking to absolutely embarrass Imperial, making sure to say, sit down, it's our time, we are the ones standing up, you're not gonna have a fun time, this is our map, y'all need to go home before we just mop the floor with you. And Imperial, they do answer in kind, but at the same time, NOLA Flight looking absolutely dominant here on this hard point, and Imperial do manage to cross the 100 mark line, but at what cost and how long can they keep it up for is the important question.
Yeah, Imperial, they're practically going to have to be playing perfect Call of Duty from here on out. Cannot allow NOLA Flight to get any more time just like this. This is a very big 22 seconds going towards NOLA Flight. May not be able to win the game, but you're going to be very close to it. Empyreal, they're going to have to try and do something good. Jamal, going to find a two-piece. Aiden pulls out the knife right there. Maybe not the best choice of weaponry, but either way, NOLA Flight still picking up the remainder of the scrap time. Empyreal, they're going to have to bunker down on this P4 if they want to be able to just hold it down, because otherwise this might be it for them. This has got to be a very big hold overall, but here comes a push coming in from NOLA Flight. Chaco with a team kill with the trophy system, I believe. That's very unfortunate. The break-in comes from NOLA Flight, however. 10 more seconds remaining. No, Empyreal gonna have to race over towards the point to make it, but it's just not gonna happen. Aiden picks up 3 before getting taken down. NOLA Flight with a dominating Map 1 performance.
My god, it is Fat Tuesday. NOLA Flight absolutely turned this into their own little personal Mardi Gras parade floor. I mean, they were handing out beads and they were handing out bullets equally. And in favor of them as well, gave Empyreal an absolute run for their money, ran them towards the hills, turned them into Pine Sol, and cleaned the map up with them in just this first match alone. And this does have me a little concerned for how this is going to go for Empyreal in these next couple of games as well.
Absolutely. I mean, Empyreal, you know, they have literally not lost a single map in their run, and they just did right now, man. NOLA Flight being the ones to do that kind of goes to show, and not just take a map, they dominated the map. You know, they were not allowing Empyreal to get anything done and just killing them off before they could get streaks, rotating early, getting the points, having very strong setups. I mean, NOLA Flight getting it done, man. They are really just giving Empyreal a run for their money right now. And so far, it is looking fairly scary, but I mean, we still have a El Asilo Search and Destroy to go through to see if maybe Empyreal can try and bounce back onto that. You know, they had been going up against, lesser teams, so maybe they just had realized the competition that they're now going up against and are probably going to try and regain and, you know, try and change up the strategy here.
Man, absolutely. That's what had me worried in the beginning. It's like I said, when it comes to NOLA Flight, when it comes to maps, say like Embassy or hell, even El Asilo, a lot of those maps really go into their favor because that's what they're used to. It's close quarters and close sight lines that enables them to get those flank points and rotations off to a T. And in this first map, they did it beautifully. And when it comes to El Asilo, I mean, sure, Empyreal can bring out the snipers, they can bring out long range, but when it comes to close range, they are going to get caught off guard. And if this happens like a repeat performance of the last game we just watched, I mean, we could be seeing a 3-0 sweep happening right before our eyes.
Possibly, man. I mean, this is definitely, you know, again, this is not looking good for Empyreal. You see the standings here, folks. Empyreal, you know, they're the ones, they're supposed to be the #1 players, and they just did not look like it in that map 1. They really did not. NOLA Flight, again, giving them a run for their money. They're the only, they're one of the 3 teams that are still, you know, that still have not lost a series, and I think that is definitely going to change here in this series right now. Because NOLA Flight, you know, they're looking for blood, and they're definitely getting it. Empyreal, however, you know, maybe they can change things up, you know, Search and Destroy being that slower pace mode, obviously, you know, maybe that's going to help them, you know, kind of regain here, maybe focus up, kind of, you know, help them get back to, I guess, their full step, but I mean, they're definitely going to have to be dealing with NOLA Flight's overall AR presence, man. I mean, again, with a map as big as El Silo, you know, that AR presence is going to play a very big factor. And honestly, man, what we saw there, the ARs on the side of NOLA Flight, they were absolutely ravaging Empyreal right now. It was just not even close. The ARs on the side of Empyreal, you know, they couldn't do much, man. They really couldn't. The presence NOLA Flight had on that map was insane. And honestly, who knows if they could do the same thing here on this Asilo.
Man, absolutely. They were cold, calculated, and when it comes to players like Conwa here, yet again, came second place off of a LAN, and the points here, I mean, brought to you by Lobby Up, by the way, we cannot thank them enough. With these stats, I mean, it's not looking good, but at the same time, I mean, Conwa isn't exactly doing his best against NOLA Flight. I mean, that last game, sure, the KD was high, but for players on NOLA Flight, especially like Shoxy, the KD was much more higher, and with an 85.4 overall, I mean, you do have other players, say like Kexrat, who might be above a little more, and that's what has me a little worried right now for Empyreal.
Yeah, man. I mean, Conway, he tried his best in that map one. You could tell him and Jamal, they really tried to put in the effort, but it was just simply put it, they were getting outslaved. They were just not able to really put in as much of a performance as they're capable of here because they just, they were just being nullified here by NOLA Flight. I mean, it was just honestly a overall dominant map one, and like I said, man, this map two has got to be, it's got to be a game changer here, man. You cannot, you cannot go into a control 2-0 against NOLA Flight, because otherwise it might just be it right then and here.
Honestly, I don't know if what you did like there was intentional, like nullified. Oh, puns, the light of my life, but at the same time, the bane of my existence. As we move on here to El Asilo, which, yet again, we could be witnessing a 3-0 blowout, or we could be witnessing Empyreal maybe being on the up and up, being able to make that comeback and see if they can try and salvage what was that last game and what remains of it as well.
Yeah, they're gonna need to definitely regain here. They're definitely gonna need to try and just continue to perform as good as they are. NOLA Flight, they are looking very good. Empyreal, however, gotta figure out what's going on. Gotta figure out what's to change here, because at this point, man, it's gotta be some pitch perfect plays, because NOLA Flight, again, they're just looking so fantastic on the map. Maybe we see some sniper action. Maybe that's gonna change things up. Maybe the snipes from Conwa can be as spicy as they were in that last series that he did, where he basically dominated the entirety of that search and destroy with the sniper. Hopefully we get to see that Conwa, because that's kind of what they need right now, man. Because oof, man, it is that map one. I gotta continue talking about it. It was just not a great performance.
I mean, true, but at the same time, though, it was only the first game. Empyreal have every opportunity, every chance in the book to be able to make a comeback and see if they can try and win this here on El Asilo with S&D. And here we go, already getting off to a good start. Empyreal on the attacking side, NOLA on defending. I mean, with A site looking a little busy, B site might be the push, it might not be, as already we are getting a big fatal sniper shot coming in from NOLA, meaning that Empyreal will be without Jamma, and this is going to be pretty interesting as Conwa holding the bomb, and it looks like we are indeed getting an A-site plant here.
All right, they got to get the bomb down. They're looking to have the site in control. It's just 3v4 right now. Might make it that a 3v3 as Nick Hate able to find Aiden right there. At least evens the odds. Bomb's going to get planted down. Now all Empyreal need to do is just sit in a corner and just hold this bomb site down. Nick Hate trying to find the kill onto Prof. Not going to be able to find it because it's going to get killed off just like that. But here comes Shoxy trying to see if he can find some players. That's 2 down for the side of Empyreal. It's Prof, last one remaining. It's going to be a 1v1 between him and Choco here, but he's on the defuse. Choco, you got to check the bomb, man. You got to hop on it. Prof, able to escape, trying to get the shots onto him, but it's going to be Choco who takes the 1v1. Empyreal starting off hot with this first round.
My god, even in Call of Duty, I mean, Empyreal almost, actually, they did avoid what could have been a very bad and a very nasty C9 situation, if you will, which at this point, it transcends even Overwatch. It can happen in any video game, and in this case, Empyreal do manage to save themselves, putting themselves up by 1 point, but for how long will this last? I mean, at this point, you've just pretty much poked the sleeping bear that is NOLA Flight, and you might be in for a little bit of trouble if you're not able to run away in time.
Yeah, gotta be able to, continue that performance, and you gotta be able to keep playing the way that you are. Empyreal, again, starting off hot, gotta make sure you keep that heat going. And although NOLA Flight, they're not going to be focusing on the A side here. They're going to be entirely focusing on B, and it looks like they're going to basically have full control. Jamal with the sniper this time. Going to see if he can try and maybe get it done here. Conwa finding the first pick onto Prof. So far, so good, but bomb is planted down. NOLA Flight, all they really need to do is make sure that Empyreal doesn't reach the bomb, but Conwa finds another one. He's going around. He's finding kills with this SMG. Aiden, however, he gets Nick Hate. Looking good. So far, looking good for Empyreal, but Shoxy able to find Conwa. 2v2 now. Shoxy and Aiden, Choco and Jamal, they gotta try and kill each other off. Jamal trying to get the pistol shots in. He gets Aiden. Shoxy 1v2 now. Can he get it done? 16 seconds remain on the clock. Can he find it? Can he get it going? He's running around, playing Ring Around the Rosie with Jamal, and he's gonna be able to get it. NOLA Flight tie things up with another equally amazing round for themselves.
Honestly, forget the bear analogy I just made. NOLA Flight at the let's find something more appropriate. They've turned into a bull, and Empyreal, they've just jumped the fence, and they absolutely ignored the sign that says, "Hey, there's a raging bovine in here. You can run this entire field in like 15 seconds. The bull can do it in 5." That is exactly what we are seeing here. And Empyreal, I mean, in those last couple of seconds, you can definitely tell that Conwa and Choco were definitely managing to put up numbers, but NOLA Flight responded in kind, gave them a run for their money, putting themselves in tie territory, and this should get pretty interesting. Skater already with first blood, and Dead Silence coming out in favor of Empyreal, but already turning this into a 4v2 situation. Here I was about to say 4v3, and already that just happened, as Nick, Conwa, and Jamal will be out as well. Shoxy on the killing spree, and it looks like Choco will be the last one left alive to try and clean this up as best as possible, but Shoxy on the hunt will unfortunately be found out by Choco, putting us into 3v1 territory. This could very well turn into 3v none if Prof manages to find this, and he does indeed. NOLA Flight putting themselves up by 1 more point, giving us a 2-1 lead.
An absolutely clean round from NOLA Flight. Shoxy comes in, finds 3, and then Prof cleans up the last one. I mean, honestly, just the best round that you can ask for here to start off on the Search and Destroy. Now we're heading over towards round 4, and NOLA Flight, you know, even though they may have messed up on that first round, they're looking to continue to fry, and it's just, again, Empyreal, you know, they cannot let this slip away from them, man. They gotta make sure that NOLA Flight does not win too many rounds. Otherwise, you know, you're just gonna put yourself into a harder and harder position to come back from. But it looks like it is going to be another A push for the side of NOLA Flight to try and get this bomb down. NOLA Flight to get this bomb down. See how it's going to look. Choco trying to find the shots there. It's Shoxy able to find the plant onto the A side. Maybe. No, Choco just not allowing him. Maybe they're fine. Yeah, there we go. Shoxy finds a plant onto the A-bomb. Now it's all about playing the defense.
Man, honestly, you're talking about frying here, and knowing NOLA Flight, you know, New Orleans, I really want beignets right now, knowing damn well I can't afford them. They're too expensive, I don't have the materials to make them, and if I want to get the materials, also, I can't afford that. Inflation is like a mother right now, it's not fun. But besides that, NOLA Flight already off to a pretty hot start. I mean, Shoxy and Conwa both are going to be down and out, meaning that both teams are going to be without their top fraggers right now, and this is looking like to even the odds, but already NOLA Flight coming in with the fast fry and grill and kill, coming in with 3 points ahead, 2 points ahead, giving them a 3-1 lead right now over Empyreal here on S&D, and that is absolutely some bad manners knifing coming out from NOLA Flight.
Oh my god. That is honestly very unfortunate. NOLA Flight just kind of showing that they do not have any respect for Empyreal. They may be the top team, but NOLA Flight, you know, they know that does not mean anything. NOLA Flight just absolutely another clean round coming in from them. Again, growing that lead much more. It does seem like Empyreal gonna try and head over towards the B side, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. The kills are coming in. Choco gets taken down immediately to 2v4 now for Empyreal. B side push not working out.
Oh my god!
Jamal with a snipe of his own. I mean, oh my god. I mean, the snipes are just on the side of NOLA Flight right now because Skater is on fire.
My god, they're just absolutely getting grilled right now. Empyreal themselves have turned into some French Creoles, man, cooking, and this is just, it's getting nasty. It's getting dangerous. Empyreal, I said they had every chance in the book to be able to make a comeback. It's still possible, but NOLA Flight is just taking that away further and further from them, essentially dangling candy above a baby and saying, yeah, you want this? Well, it's not yours. I'm gonna eat it in front of you. You're not gonna like it, but hey, we're still gonna take the W anyway. And NOLA Flight proving absolutely why they are a dangerous team to mess with. And Empyreal right now is not exactly looking so hot in terms of playability and being able to get the movement off, but NOLA Flight capitalizing on that with the AR kills and not even giving them a shred of mercy here as we switch sides on El Asilo.
No mercy indeed, NOLA Flight. They just want to get this over with, man. You can tell it in the way that they're playing. They just want to get this Search and Destroy over with, bring it over to that control, and maybe just get that 3-0 sweep. But Empyreal, You know, I can definitely tell they have fight in them. Let's see if they can be able to make a comeback here. 1v4 now. Jamal, nice snipe to start things off. My God, Aiden gets taken down. There goes one of the big players there, but it looks like it is going to be that A push. NOLA flight to get it done. But there goes another player. Prof gets taken down. 2v4 now. Imperial, they have a really good chance at taking this. They just got to make sure they play it right. Conwa taken down. 2v3 scenario here for NOLA flight. It's going to be a very, very big moment here. Shoxy been running around the map like it's his own. Can he do it again? Trying to find the shots. The defuse is coming in from Nick Hay. They have to hop on it. They got to make sure that they get him up. Skater finds two. Oh my God, Choco. Last one remaining. 1v1 here.
Oh no.
And just like that, they bring it up to a match point and a 2v4, man. You cannot let that happen.
My God, I mean, Empyreal being able to fend off those bottom 4 teams might have been luck, as NOLA flight absolutely siphoning every single bit of that away from them, putting that in their favor, managing to take up everything that they have worked for and dump it out of the ground right in front of them. I mean, they're not even letting them pick up the pieces that's scattered all over the place. NOLA flight at 5-1. This is the last round before they might be able to take this, or we could see Empyreal manage to get a little bit of the luck of the Irish back. You never know, as Shoxy already coming in with first blood. I might have misspoken. The caster curse is very much real, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between. This is getting very scary for Empyreal as they're doing everything to fend off NOLA flight, which I have a feeling they're going to come through, busting those doors down. It's a situation from The Shining, as Empyreal, they've been found, they've been spotted, they're doing everything they can to get an A-site rotation here, but at what cost is right now? I mean, sure, NOLA flight may have lost Aiden, but at the same time, Empyreal, they've also lost Shoxy, and this is not exactly looking good. We might see a bit of a turnaround, but Kimchi, man, I'll be honest with you, I'm a little scared. I'm a little concerned. I am very, 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 very frightened for the absolute possibilities that could come in from here, and this is giving me the chills.
I cannot agree with you anymore, man. Empyreal, they got to get this bomb down. Less than 30 seconds remain. They have the lead, however, 3v2, so let's hope that they do not choke this again. You already see Skater. He's holding it down. He finds one. Almost gets the second.
Oh, my God.
Nick to find the trade. Prof, 1v2 now. Can he do it? Can he get these 2 kills to end this search and destroy? We'll have to see about that. Both players are just setting up on the bomb side. Not bad. Setup here, but they gotta make sure that they're watching the corners. Able to sneak in. He finds one. He's able to sneak out just like that. Jamal in the 1v1. Can he get it done? Imperial, stay alive for one more.
It's one more game, but for how long can they stay alive? For how long? That's the important question. Kimchi, I'm biting my nails, my teeth, my gums, they bleeding out. I'm a little scared, man. I would need my safety blanket.
Oh man, I mean, this is this is definitely a very competitive, very scary, nail-biting matchup here. Imperial gonna have to fight tooth and nail if they want to get out of this pit that they're in. NOLA flight making sure that they stay in it. They're on the attacking side now. You see Jamal back at it again with a sniper. But this time, Aiden not going to peek it out this time. Not going to give him the satisfaction of finding that kill. It is going to be Shoxy to try and maybe chow it out. Nick Haight, though, knows what's going on. It is another A-plant, but you see Colin coming in from the back. Can he get it done? No, Skater with the pistol shot. Doesn't check his corners properly. Choco gets found out. Nick Haight and Jamal. 2v4 scenario here. Can they get it done? No, they cannot. It's going to be all left up to Jamal in the 1v4 with the sniper. He finds one at 1v3 now. Bomb going to get planted down. It is going to be a very tough situation here for Jamal.
Oh my God, and then there were none, as NOLA flight absolutely managing to take this, getting us out of match point. And if I remember correctly, if I remember my maps correctly, yes, this is the first of 6 rounds, meaning that NOLA flight put themselves up by 2-0, and the Saints came marching in. Indeed, the AR shots coming in, especially from Shoxy with the Vaznev 9K. This is absolutely proving to be one of the most exciting, one of the best games I have ever had the opportunity to cast and witness here in the Major 1 qualifiers.
I mean, NOLA flight, I mean, they're just putting Imperial in the dirt right now. They are not letting them get anything done, and it's just 2 dominant map performances back to back. I mean, and we're heading back to Asila for that control, man. I mean, if Imperial's performance is the same as it was on that Search and Destroy,
That's going to be that 3-0 sweep, man. They got to answer back here or now. It is just not, you know, you can no longer be making any more mistakes. You know, there's no more to fall back on. And it is just not, again, it is just not looking good.
Man, absolutely. I mean, NOLA Fight giving Empyreal an absolute run for their money right now, each and every map, and we've only gone into 2 games. We are going to be returning to Asilo and NOLA Flight. They are absolutely proving themselves to be the top dog in this case. I mean, it's absolutely dangerous. Dealing with them is like absolutely trying to go against an unstoppable force, an immovable object, if you will. Or I should say, an immovable Mardi Gras parade float. You just can't get by them no matter how many times you honk at them in the middle of the street, whether it be on the avenue or hell, even on the highway. It just doesn't work out.
You know, Colin, he's still fresh from that second place in the land. Just it does not seem like that. It's really helping them out. They're first in the standings, but maybe that's not going to be for long because they are just not having it. They have 3 wins against the bottom 4 teams, but I mean, this is again a top team here. This is not a bottom 4 team. NOLA Flight just absolutely putting Empyreal in the dirt and just not letting them out. And it's now heading up to this control. Can NOLA Flight get that 3-0 sweep onto Empyreal and prove to be the true top dogs of this league? Or Empyreal going to win this map and start preparing for that reverse sweep?
Man, absolutely. Empyreal, they have every opportunity. I keep saying it over and over again, but I want it to be true. I want it to be somewhat true. As Empyreal, they have the potential, they have the power to be able to put themselves up by a couple of points and maybe take us all the way into S&D on Fortress. But with each performance that NOLA Flight has been putting up in these past couple of games, that possibility is getting lower and lower and lower to a point where it's gone from, like, say, a whole cheese wheel, right? If y'all imagine with me real quick, to a very, very tiny sliver of cheese, not even worthy for hell, even Jerry Mouse to even try and snack on. It's just not worth it. It's not delicious in the end, and it's not really going to work out for anybody. I mean, who wants to eat that small of a block of cheese? But besides that, right now, NOLA Flight are proving to be a powerhouse of a team, but at the same time, Empyreal also proving themselves to be able to come back in those past couple of rounds over on S&D, so we might see a bit of a flip in terms of who is going to be able to win this next map.
Yeah, Empyreal definitely have that fighting spirit inside of them, but we need to see it come out a lot more here. Again, this is it, man. NOLA Flight, they can close it out right here, and again with control, it's we're patting back to Asilo. They did not Empyreal did not have that great of a performance. Search and destroy. Hopefully, maybe that changes things up here, you know, with a respawn. But I mean, again, NOLA Flight, they are just absolutely, you know, they're just absolutely clearing things out, and they're just on fire. They've been on fire throughout this entire series. Empyreal got to figure out how to cool them down and make sure that they can at least stay alive for just a little bit longer.
Man, absolutely. And yet again, I mean, we're returning to El Asilo. You saw how powerful that NOLA Flight was on that map. They managed to utilize those long sight lines, managing to use those hills, the stairwells, to do everything in their power to deny Empyreal any rotation, any win whatsoever, and they really suffered for it. I mean, no matter how much movement that Empyreal had, no matter how much power they had over some of these sites, especially over on A and B near the shed, it really just didn't work out in their favor. However, there were a few cases in which players like Conwa and Choco did manage to pull themselves out of a 1v4 situation and flip it on its head and manage to net them those much needed points.
Yeah, you know, like I said, Empyreal, they definitely have that fiery spirit, and they could definitely get it done here, but we'll have to see if, you know, they're able to do it here as we're starting off on this control. NOLA Flight gonna try and maybe push over towards the A side, but there's gonna be a couple of kills coming in from the side of NOLA Flight to really secure this A side. The push is still coming in. Empyreal trying to defend it as best as they can, but it's just not getting happening. Prof able to find that kill onto Jamal, and the progress on the A side is zooming right now. They are literally just taking control of this and, you know, just running away with it. Now it's going to be all left at that B side. Empyreal going to have a very strong defense now because yeah, it's again NOLA Flight just absolutely clearing through the map.
I mean, absolutely, but at the same time, NOLA Flight, they're getting downed and out almost immediately. Empyreal do manage to put up numbers. At the same time, NOLA Flight, they managed to clear out A site so fast and so incredibly clean that Empyreal barely had a chance to respond in kind, and already the kills are going out from both NOLA Flight and Empyreal, turning this kill feed into a mixture of purple and orange right now, and it's getting hairy, it's getting dangerous for either team. However, when it comes to Jamal, does manage to get the double kill before being taken out himself almost instantly here on El Asilo.
Yeah, and Empyreal, they're definitely looking a lot better here, man. But you could obviously tell that NOLA Flight slowly pushing them out, making sure that they get as far back into their spawn as they possibly can. The stack is going to come in. You do see that player over there, that being Choco, all the way on the other side of the map, making sure that he can try and find some kills. And that's absolutely what's happening. Jamal with a two-piece to shut down that push just for now. A minute and 27 left on the clock. No, Empyreal. They have a long way to go before they could really call this round their own, but they're so far looking very strong. The map positioning, you know, they got to utilize the men down on the side of NOLA Flight to really make sure that they have as much map control as possible. But NOLA Flight looking to try and regain here. They just got to try and make sure they find the kill, but Choco not letting it happen!
Oh my god!
He's going to be able to find two just like that, so easy. And now he's already one away from getting that cruise missile in his back pocket. And with a map like Asilo, where a lot of it is majority, majority in the open, you know, this is it's gonna be definitely a huge thing for Choco to have one.
I mean, absolutely, but NOLA Flight, yet again, they're still on B point. That Empyreal will have a little bit of trouble trying to get that, but at the same time, they're netting kills, and this control, it looks like it's going over in Empyreal's favor. Never mind, as NOLA Flight will come in and try and clean that up, but at the sacrifice of Prof and Skater as well. I mean, with 23 seconds left on this clock, they need to be doing everything in their power to try and clean this up. The dive coming in, Choco will be down and out, melted down into the ground as well. Same goes for Jamal, and this is looking more and more in NOLA Flight's favor. I mean, B site right now is looking particularly empty. It's up for anybody's grabs, but at the same time, NOLA Flight, they're back on the capture point. They're managing to snuff Empyreal out wherever they go. Zone B is looking to be crowded in just a second. Hell, it's about to turn into one big old party if NOLA Flight manages to net this, and it looks like they will, as Empyreal coming in with the charge, but I think it's too little too late. Zone B looking contested, and never mind, as Empyreal will be able to win this and avoid a bit of another upset coming in from NOLA Flight.
Yeah, no, that looks pretty scary there, man. I'm not gonna lie, NOLA Flight, they were down on lives, they didn't even have respawns remaining, and they were making progress on that B side, and almost seemed like they were actually gonna be able to, like, get it. And right in front of Empyreal's eyes too. I mean, that would have been very, very bad. But no, Empyreal going to be able to close that out and get that first round in the control. And, this is the regain that, definitely is needed here for Empyreal to make sure that they at least, head into this series and not get 3-0 swept. They want to make sure that this is a competitive series. And they also want to make sure that, again, that even though they may not have that map record, undefeated anymore, they might want to try and, keep that undefeated series streak going. But they're going to have to, fight tooth and nail against NOLA Flight if they want to be able to get that done, and NOLA Flight just not letting it happen. Like I was talking about earlier, the AR presence from the side of NOLA Flight just too strong. Their ARs are just haven't beaming throughout this entire series, and it just, again, is not looking to stop. You see Aiden able to find one, able to find two. Holy! This is what I was talking about, man. Aiden just absolutely frying. Jamal trying to make his way onto the patio to find some kills in the back spawn of NOLA Flight, but it's just not happening because NOLA Flight are absolutely frying right now.
Man, NOLA Flight is putting the pressure on Empyreal right now. Listen, as much as I don't want to say this, as clean as they are playing right now, I think we might need to check some PCs for Word.exe in this household. Stop the game. I'm joking, of course. It's all fun and games here on El Asilo, but not exactly for Empyreal, as they are getting rocked left and right. NOLA Flight managing to take the fight to them. Conwa, Jamal, and Nick hate taken out off the bat immediately. NOLA Flight do manage to get those picks coming off, and that's another one coming in with Choco being the very unfortunate recipient of the other end of that gun, and Aiden already on a killing spree of ×5, and NOLA Flight will manage to take this round and possibly put us into comeback territory for them and not exactly for Empyreal here.
I mean, NOLA Flight with a very strong defensive round, a way to answer back against Empyreal. You definitely could see that happen in that first round where, you know, even though they were down on lives, NOLA Flight was still able to, you know, get a lot of ticks off of that B side. But yeah, so far, you know, still, they're looking strong. You see Aiden on that 5 spree looking to get that cruise missile. And again, with what I was talking about with El Asilo being a map that's mostly out in the open, it's, you know, that cruise missile can do a lot of damage here. But we'll have to see if he's even able to get it here. It's going to be a big 1v1 here between Aiden and the Empyreal player. But no, Choco able to find him, gets him off of his streak. A humongous kill from Choco right there. And this is definitely a good way to start out the defensive round, no longer having to worry about any players on streaks anymore. But it's going to have to be now the take on the B side coming in from NOLA Flight as they're going to try and get this done and dusted. Imperial got to answer back, or they may just want to set up and bunker down on the A side. Looks like they're just doing that. They're just going to have to make sure that they don't allow NOLA Flight to push deep into their spawn and get that control, and just that's going to have to be what it is. But look at this. The pause is going to happen. Oh, but never mind. NOLA Flight able to capture the B side. Jamal with a nice 2-piece, but it was a little bit too late there. Lives still looking a little bit even here, but never mind. Choco, Conwa going to be able to find one, able to find 3. Jesus Christ. The featured player of this series hasn't really been doing a lot, but man, he is waking up right now, and so is the entirety of the Empyreal roster. Again, Nick Hay finding 2. He is absolutely frying right now, and Empyreal, they are waking up.
Man, waking up indeed. I mean, Empyreal, you saw those last couple of kill streaks. They're gearing up for some kill streaks of their own, but NOLA Flight responding in kind. I mean, Skater does go down and out, but not before Conwa as well will go out. And Zone A is looking to get captured, but Jamal on the absolute killing spree of a lifetime right now. Empyreal is looking to try and clean this up as best as possible. As A site, it's looking to go in their favor. They're getting the defense off, but NOLA Flight, they're going to be coming in. They're going to be coming in hot, and for Empyreal, this is not going to be a good situation whatsoever. I mean, the kill feed, you can tell, is going to be lighting up purple in a second here, but the same thing going for the orange. Prof and Skater will be found and will get picked off by the vultures that are Empyreal.
I mean, it has just been an absolutely different looking team. Empyreal, they have absolutely found all the kills. Jamal finds 2. He gets that cruise missile. 22 and 8 from Jamal. This guy has been frying right now, and he is looking to keep it going. Can he break 10 on the streak right now? He getting the shots. Nope, he cannot do so. Unfortunate, but hey, man, still got that cruise missile, still looking good. Empyreal responding back with a very strong defensive round of their own. And again, NOLA Flight, got to make sure that you just keep it, you know, you gotta make sure you try and keep it close. NOLA Flight gonna need to figure out what they want to do here as Empyreal, they have literally full control over this A side. 15 seconds remain on the clock. I'm sorry, yeah, now 15 seconds remain on the clock. NOLA Flight, they do not have any more respawns.
Oh no.
It is just, you know, it is just looking dicey for them.
Man, it's down to the wire, but NOLA Flight proving exactly why they don't need respawns. Zone A is getting captured out immediately. This could be another win coming in for NOLA Flight, and they actually managed to take it. Empyreal, they were too little too late. They did everything in their power to try and get on that site. I mean, you could tell Conwa on this final kill feed, you know he's pissed. You know he wanted to do everything to try and get there, maybe save his team some more trouble and more pain of having to deal with the absolutely stacked roster that is NOLA Flight, but it did not happen in the end, meaning we are going into 2-1, possibly full sweep territory.
Oh my, I mean, Empyreal, they kind of let that, you know, go, man. They really just let NOLA Flight take it right there. You know, this is the problem with a lot of, you know, with a lot of control maps, man, is that once you feel like, you know, you're comfortable, you feel like you're going to win the round, then the team comes in and just absolutely takes over the point. You cannot let your guard down anytime in control, and that's exactly what we just saw with Empyreal. They let their guard down, and they allowed NOLA Flight to stack onto the point and capture that A side, man. It is just honestly unfortunate, and NOLA Flight back on the defense, man, and now they're in basically their home territory. They're going to be able to basically hold down all these points, and all they really need to do is make sure they're winning their gunfights, and that's pretty much going to be the series for them. And we already saw how good they were on the defense originally, so if they could just continue that performance one more time, this could practically be over right now. Still, kills are coming in. Prof able to find one in the back, a very big kill. Can he find a second? Yes, he can. one more player remaining on the side of Empyreal, that being Nick Haight, to try and maybe stay alive here for a little bit. Less than 30 seconds remaining on the clock, however. Empyreal, they gotta get something done.
I mean, absolutely. It was really sad to see what happened in those last couple of seconds. I mean, Empyreal did want to get that zone, but as much as I hate saying this, and it's very unfortunate in very, very unfortunate circumstances, I'm going to say it. That was 100% a C9 moment coming in yet again. I believe this is our second one of this game today in NOLA Flight. They know they're playing into the mental of Empyreal, and they're getting into their heads right now to a point where you can see Empyreal, they're staggering, fumbling all over the place. I mean, it's like they got hit with the absolute worst Stone Cold Stunner of all Stone Cold Stunners, and NOLA Flight is doing everything in their power to capitalize on this. And Empyreal, sure, they may have made progress here at B, but NOLA Flight, especially coming in from our top fraggers being Prof and Skater, are going to come in here all hands on deck and make sure that this does not happen for Empyreal.
Empyreal only have about 1.2 seconds remaining on the clock.
Oh, no.
They have to hop on the time. They cannot let anything go on. 0.0 seconds.
Oh!
Oh no! What happened here? NOLA Flight. They're gonna be able to take the control 3-1 and take the series 3-0. Oh man, what happened there? I thought the contest was still there. I guess he just nudged out of the point just
Oh
about
my god!
and left it. And oh, that is actually so sad. Just back-to-back rounds kind of just taken away from you there, man. I mean, just an unfortunate circumstance for Empyreal, but I mean, NOLA Flight just able to do it all.